Rise up.
Thank you for watching BlaXit.
Money. Emperor.
Rise up.
Money.
BlaXit family, BlaXit family, BlaXit family. How are you today? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're great, in fact. Wherever you are in the world, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this channel, BlaXit. If you're new to this channel, BlaXit, and you've never been on here before and you are a newbie, BlaXit is dedicated to our repatriation. That's right, that means you coming back home, yeah? Your relocation, that means you moving back home, yeah, to Africa. The beautiful continent of Africa. And Africa is like a mansion with many rooms, choose one. We chose the Gambia, the smiling coast of the Gambia, the beautiful Gambia. And I'm here today, my family and I, we relocated and repatriated over 3 years ago to the Gambia. We have no regrets and loving every minute of the experience. And when we first came, we started to vlog as a result of meeting Wodamaya. Now, someone who has been on this journey with us from the start, I would say, from the beginning almost, yeah, has been someone who's very beloved to BlaXit. And he's joining me today, and I want him to introduce himself to the BlaXit family.
Hi Julia, it's great to be back on BlaXit again. My name, for those who don't know, my name is McConnen Sankofa. I am an author. I'm also the founder of the Black Book Show. Now, I'm going to do a little bit more into the introduction in terms of the relationship that I have with Julia and how we came to meet each other. So, as you mentioned, I was there from pretty much almost the inception of BlaXit. And I was the person, behind the camera who did the majority of the videos and the video editing, uploading the videos onto YouTube. And yeah, well, I mean, Julia you said one time I was like your work partner. So I remember me saying that. So yeah, a lot of the content that you saw for the first 3 to 4 months of BlaXit, a lot of them was filmed and edited by me, and you'll see in the end of the credits that it's got my name, McConnen Sankofa. And I really enjoyed the time working with Julia. A couple of times I came on front of the camera when I was talking about my book, The Rise of Rastafari, when we went into Brushby Upper Senior School, and also when you interviewed me. That's how the first actually way that I came into through BlaXit was when you invited me to your house, and then I came, we did an interview, and then after the interview that we did, you then was telling me more, and then we said that it would be great if we worked together on the channel, and then we just went from there, one video after the other video.
Totally.
And BlaXit has grown to what it is today, where thousands of people have helped to repatriate hundreds of thousands to the Gambia. So it's great to see the progress BlaXit has made.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I mean, we're so proud of your accomplishments, and it was really, really good working with you during that period of time, because, Seth, I'm not going to, forget Seth. Seth is the person that did the email to Wodamaya, and obviously he was helping to edit and help me and stuff. And I remember even during your interview, that was quite funny. That was one of the reasons why we started to work together. But anyway, let's not talk about that. But basically, you've done so much since you left. I mean, one of the two really memorable videos that we worked on together, one was Usman Toure.
Oh yeah.
You did the Usman Toure. That was at the Pan-African Conference at Caraba Hotel. We did that together, right? Yeah. So we did that, and look at what happened. Look at what has blossomed. I'm so proud of you, Usman Toure, and so grateful to you as well, because you've also blossomed. So we're going to talk about some of the developments that have happened in your life since you left Gambia. But what I want to know first is, What brings you back? He's back. I told you, once you can't, you got to keep coming back and forth.
You know, it's there's several reasons. I mean, this is obviously Life in Gambia, the Smiling Coast of Africa, the title of my book. But just like you said, most people that have come to Gambia, you don't just come here once; they come multiple times.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think what brought me back was I was possibly looking at going to Zambia, and things didn't really kind of work out. And then at the end of my mind, I was like, you know what? When I look at my reflection of my time in Gambia, I was like, most of my memories, pretty much 99% of them are probably fond memories.
Yeah.
And when I looked at all that, you know, my experiences, the people that I met, because some of the things that I did, you know, I went to weddings, naming ceremonies, and just meeting the everyday local people, and even the people in the diaspora. It's just, Gambia for me ticks so many boxes, from, you know, the weather down to the culture. You know, you have the different tribes like Wolof, Mandinka, finding out more about different culture.
Yeah, of course.
You know what? There was so many areas, the friendliness and kindness of the people that you just don't get in UK. So you can live next to someone for 10 years, 5 years in UK, and you don't even know who your next door neighbour is. You might even say hello to that person.
You'll pass them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas here is that you can go on the street and someone will ask you, do you want to eat with them? Do you want to have food? And an example that really sticks out to me is the friendliness and the kindness of people. Is that I remember once it was in rainy season and I was going home, and everyone who knows that Caribbean rainy season, if those people watching the Caribbean, when it rains heavy, or have you been to Gambia when it rains really heavy? So it rained really heavy, you know, everywhere, water everywhere, it was all waterlogged. And my taxi driver, he was taking me home, and when he took me home, I had to cross the road to get to my apartment. And he got out the car, he offered to carry me through the water, and take me to my apartment. And I am a big guy, I'm 6'4" and I'm quite broad. And this man's about half my size. But these are just kind of like an example, one example. There's many more examples, but for me, it was really the people that really, and the sense of community and the family structure. You know, something that I observed when I was in Gambia in 2019 was how strong the family relationships are, particularly male and female relationship. That could be a brother and sister, that could be a husband and wife, that could be a man and a daughter. Whereas in the West world, particularly the black family structure, for reasons that we know, that is really breaking down. So for me, that was just a joy. And I want to be in a country where I'm around, you know, black people and the majority, and I want to see, you know, where I can look at the president or people in positions of power and see a reflection of ourselves. So these are the kind of reasons that brought me to the Gambia. But I'm open to, you know, all over Africa, but Gambia for me, because of the fond memories that I had and my own experience of being here before.
I know exactly how you feel. Especially because recently at Korote and so on, everybody was sharing food, you know, and I was eating Findi, I was eating Domada, I was eating some beautiful food and having such a wonderful time. And one day I will film it to show people what actually goes on during this time of year, so that when you come, if it's here, you know what to do, how to engage, and, you know, to get your clothes out, go up and down and enjoy yourself, and, you know, go and give salibu to the children. Even I gave out the last of my salibu today, actually. That's how long I've had it for, because I didn't get a chance to do it all. But salibu is when you give little gifts to children, and I love doing that. I love children, so that was amazing. So I really can empathise with how you feel, because those are some of the reasons why I live here permanently and why I'll stay here. I'll travel, and I love travelling. However, you know, Gambia is such a warm and loving environment, such a really hospitable environment, and I feel very safe here as well. And so that's one of the things that definitely attracted me to the Gambia, and why I still live here. But moving on, you've actually capitalized on your experience, and you've actually written a book, and we talked about this during a live on BlaXit. So if you watched the live on BlaXit with McConnen, you would have had a sneak preview of the book, but today we're going to go into a little bit more detail, and we're going to talk about what inspired you to write the book and what is in the book, and you got to mention me.
Okay, so this is my book, Life in Gambia, the Smiling Coast of Africa. The title's pretty self-explanatory, because it's about life in Gambia, my life in Gambia, and then for those who don't know, the Gambia is a nickname called the Smiling Coast of Africa. So that's why I came up with that title. And yes, Juliet, there is a chapter about you. I'll go into that more, but let me just give a broad overview of the overview of the book. And it really encompasses my life, my experiences. So, you know, going out to some of the local villages, you know, the people that I met. As I mentioned, I went to I think actually I went to 3 naming ceremonies. I went to a wedding, which was something else. Which I think one of the naming ceremonies we went to was Adam Barrow's brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one we went to.
Yeah, that one, and that was an event within itself. It was like almost like the whole village came out,
Yeah.
and the females, they had so many different clothes, and they kept changing their clothes every so often, and there's music, there was dancing, there was just like so much that happened, and it really encompasses various different aspects. It's like a part of it is like my own personal experience, but it does also have guides. So that, for example, some people that might be thinking about why they're going to come in Gambia, what they might want to do. This book does actually have it as well. It does have like business tips. I'm not going to tell them to spill everything out, but it does. Yeah, that's why you have to get the book. It does have it in the book, for example, possible things that you may want to do while you're over here, and just certain general tips and advice. So it really gives someone who, if they haven't been here before, it's because it gives them a great insight into the Gambia, what it's like, etc. The part that now I talk about the experience of Julia is, I believe it's in chapter 10, and I talk about my time working with BlaXit, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, but some of the things that we did, for example, that really stuck out to me is when we went to the medical centre, because a lot of people have still got this kind of these negative views of Africa, and that's what, well, I don't really have to explain much because Julia always says it every time she comes on, but getting that frame of mind, getting that out of our people to say that yes, there is a medical centre here in Gambia, we filmed it. Yes, there is supermarkets, we went there, King Baker's supermarket, and various different places. It's almost like we met the who's who's, isn't it? Like
yes.
Harona Drummy from Paradise TV.
Yeah.
It was the people that we met. Khalifa Salah. That was one
Yes.
interview that stuck out to me as well.
Yeah, definitely Khalifa Salah.
Khalifa Salah, yeah.
Definitely. That was a very powerful interview.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think it is almost one of my most powerful. It's tied between him and Osman.
Yeah, Osman Toure, which, like, for example, like Julia said, I've seen Osman Toure on videos on YouTube that I'm seeing that. I filmed that. I filmed that, and I've had sometimes, some days, multiple people send me these clips. So for me as well, when I reflect on our time with BlaXit in this book, but it also talks a bit about the impact that it had, for example, on people relocating and people that might have not necessarily knew where Gambia was, that have now been here or now thinking about that mindset of Gambia or Africa, the wider African continent, but Gambia because that's where we are at the moment and where the book is focused on. Yeah.
So right now we're in a bookshop. Yeah, we're in Timbuktu, and you gave me some good news. As we came into this bookshop is in Fajara, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Fajara. It's just off of the highway, not far from Emporium. You just turn off the next turning, and then you'll meet Timbuktu Bookshop. This bookshop has got fantastic books in it, and lots of content of different types of subject matter. So if you're thinking, oh, you're coming to Africa, will I be able to buy books about anything? Of course you can. Of course you can. Everything is here. And it has also an amazing ambience and amazing artifacts, some of which I've shown on BlaXit before. But the good news, when I came into the bookshop, tell me about the sales of your books, because I'm really impressed and I want to share with everybody the good news.
Well, the book that we're talking about, Life in Gambia, the Smiling Coast of Africa, is a book that is stocked here in Timbuktu, or you can purchase it from me directly. But if you're in the Gambia, it's here. And I actually came to Timbuktu to speak to Julia, but before this, I came in to stock some copies of my book. So I gave this to the manager downstairs to get the book stocked, and I was just hovering around waiting to do the interview, and then. A gentleman came in, and he says he wants 14 copies of the book. So they wouldn't even put out on the shelf yet. It's like someone just grabbed them straight away. And it's like I brought 8 copies with me, and then one was to give to Juliet, one was to give away, and then I had the 6. He took the 6. He's coming back tomorrow to get the remaining copies, and he says he might even come back and get even more. He's like, how much I had. So I mean, I was really, really chuffed. I was really, really happy about the news. Is that the book that straight away before it's even been put out, that that someone has just come and grabbed it, and I'm hoping that this continues. So for me, that was really something that made my day.
Yeah, definitely. That was. I mean, it was a great start to the interview. Well, great start. So I got a dry freight today. It was a great start to even just getting prepared for the interview. It was like really good news, and I think that Also, I want to talk about how you've been helping other people, to write and author books, and also to market their books and get their books published. And I think, what you've been doing is great. So you said, look, I've done it. Yeah, I have, The Rise of Rastafari. You've got 2 different editions now to show that, which you can buy on Amazon. Yeah, that's The Rise of Rastafari, written by McConnen Sankofa, and also The Rise of Rastafari. And this is the extended edition. And both great books, really good books, because they do give you an insight, and I think a different view, I would say, because I read them. So, and also, like I said, I come from a background where also my dad was a Rastafarian. So it's nice to see it written from a young person's perspective as well. And I'm calling you a young person, so be flattered. Be flattered. And so, it was nice to see that you even had an interest in the subject as well. But what interests me now is how you're being able to turn your experience into a gift for others. So just share with us what you've been doing with the Black Books Project, and also how you've been helping other people to become authors too.
Okay, so in terms of my Black Books, it's called Black Books Show now. When I first started, it was called the Black Books Webinar, and I've been doing it for.
Apologies.
I've been doing it.
Did I say Black Books Project? That's mine, isn't it?
No. They can still call it Black Books Project, but I would people would still know what you're referring to. But the Black Books Show, it started 2 years ago. First under the name the Black Books Webinar, and then I've extended to also have a radio show now. At first, it was called the Black Books Webinar and the Black Books Show, but now under one brand name. But I've got 2 platforms: a webinar and a radio show. So the webinar's been running for 2 years, and the radio show's been running for 1 year. The webinar, I've had over 150 authors since it began 2 years ago now.
Wow.
This is actually the month it began. It's been 2 years now, and every single month it takes place, and I have authors from all over the world. So it's an international platform. It's not just authors in UK or authors in America. I have authors in UK, I've had authors in Canada, Australia, Africa, the continent, Nigeria, other parts of Africa, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Jamaica, other parts of Europe. Other people that have come on my platform, they've seen black people that talk about their books from Republic of Ireland, where the people being like, they didn't even know that black people lived in the Republic of Ireland. So those kind of things, it's an international audience. And also the people that are speaking on the book is a wide variety of different genres. So it's not just, say, a book on history or culture, your book on relationships, fiction, non-fiction, children's books. It covers a wide range of different authors and different genres, and that runs every single month. And how it works is normally it's an online webinar or virtual book tour, and authors get a certain time to promote and talk about the book, and also to a global audience. With a radio show that is bi-weekly on Luton Urban Radio and Galaxy Radio, and that is when I do an in-depth interview. So it's slightly different to the webinar. The webinar is when the authors they speak about
their book. Is that Galaxy Afiwi?
Galaxy Afiwi,
Yes,
Galaxy Afiwi, the only de-brainwashing station. Big shout out to Dr. Abu Ratata if he's listening to this. Always supportive of myself on my journey. And
big up yourself, Dr. Abu.
And with the radio show, that is where I do an in-depth interview with the author. So it could be like 30 minutes or 60 minutes, depending on how the flow of the conversation goes. And then that will be broadcasted on Galaxy Afiwi and also Luton Urban Radio. And I've also now turned it into a podcast as well. So now I'm actually also doing a podcast where people, like the recordings of those are put onto a podcast where people can listen to the playbacks of the show in case they've missed it as well. So that's basically the formats I do. And again, both of those stations have a global audience of people worldwide. And in terms of the book now, that going on to what I do in terms of helping authors to potentially write a book. So I do courses on book publishing and marketing, and coaching on people that need to help with publishing and marketing their book. So there's different elements of the journey, because this book, on my book on Gambia, I did fully myself. So I'm talking now for someone with experience as well, who's actually done it. I designed, the whole cover of this book, even 2 of these pictures. This is Palm Beach in Gambia. This is Kotu in Gambia, and formatting it, uploading it, putting an ISB on in the book. That's all stuff that I cover when I do these courses. And there's a lot more in that I can explain, but obviously this is just a snippet of exactly what I do.
Did you not notice I dressed accordingly to complement the book cover? You see the Gambian covers get red, white, blue and green, you see? And this is batik. This is batik. made by Wally actually, so I'll give a big shout out to Wally. So if you want to, don't forget to go and get your batiks from Wally. Yeah, lovely cloth and design. So just thought I'd compliment you, I just thought I'd say that, you know, in promotion of the Gambia. One nation, one Africa. Thank you, BlaXit family. Please keep watching and remember, follow your dreams.
Emperor made this.
Purchase your tracks today.
Emperor made this.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Emperor made this.
Purchase your tracks today.
Emperor made this.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.